But my favorite way is pretty much what Teresa did today. It's to do what I call a customized callback. When you call back to something that happened on the way to the event, or you call back to something that happened, I'm going to tell you a few stories I've never told anybody. But here's what happens. Charlie Tremendous Jones, who was one of my heroes, I shared the stage with him a year before he passed. He was about 88 years old when I shared the stage with him. He called back to his introduction. So he would have an introducer say something like this. Charlie Tremendous Jones and his wife have been married for 55 years. Charlie also has a best-selling book called Life is Tremendous that is in its 8th printing. Now, when Charlie took the stage, here's exactly what he would do at 88 years old. They told you my wife and I have been married for 55 years, but they didn't tell you why. The reason we've been married for 55 years is because 55 years ago, I told myself, I will not let that woman ruin the life of another man. Then he called back to the books. They told you that my book was so successful, it's in its 8th printing. But they didn't tell you why. The reason it's in its 8th printing is because the first 7 printings were blurred. And he would go on, and he was self-deprecating. We would love him by the end of his opening. He did a customized callback. Teresa did it today. Look, you're not the only one who went through customs. First of all, let me tell you this, Southern Africa, can't nobody in here complain about their trip. 18 hours on a plane, 2 hours in customs, and the worst part, a 4-hour drive here with Air Fiji. Customs was a little tough. It was tougher than Bali. See, when I got to Bali, I was able to tell them a story of what happened to me at customs. And here's what I told them. I said, Bali, I really appreciate your customs. Because when I got to the customs, the agent, he wasn't like most agents. See, most agents will say, where are you coming from? What business do you have here? Where are you staying? How long are you going to be here? And most importantly, when are you leaving? That's what most agents would say. I said, but Bobby, when I got to your customs agent, it was different. He looked at me, looked at my passport, looked back at me, and all he said was, are you sure you're not Obama? I wanted to get in, so I was like, yes, we can. So obviously, that was something that happened as I traveled to the event. You can customize in what I like to call 4 ways. I call it my PEST formula, P-E-S-T. You can customize something that happened as you prepared for the event. You can customize something that happened at the event. You can call back, I should say. You can call back to something that happened with the speaker who talked before you. And you can call back to something that happened as you traveled to the event. One last callback. I'll tell you what I did in Syracuse, New York. And nobody knows this story, so you're the first one to ever hear it. I was in Syracuse, New York, and I got to the hotel room. Hold your ears if you're squeamish. I'm about to speak about an hour and a half later. So I said, let me take a shower. I gotta wipe this flight off, right? So I stripped down, don't have any clothes on, put a towel on around my waist. But then I thought, you know what? I gotta do my ritual. Whenever I get to a new hotel, I go to the curtain and I open it up. See what kind of scenery I have. Forgot I was on the first floor. So I went to the curtain, just a towel on, opened it up. It was the ballroom where I was going to be speaking. And there were already some people in there early. And they were looking at me. And I was When I got on stage, I said, listen, I apologize for those of you who saw a little bit more than a speech. Almost gave new meaning to the term ballroom, but I'm not going to go there. With Syracuse, I felt safe, I can say. Anyway, you're calling back to the text, okay? Something that happened as you prepared, the event, something that happened to the speaker or the track.